Did either of you pay attention to Omni today? They had their first day of trading on the JSE.
So I followed that. It was pretty weird in the sense that Omni had 766 shares trading at $1.25, which is where the stock halted up. Like, whenever IPOs happen, actually track the stock when it opens and see how much money was there, going for the stock. So, you saw 766 shares trade at the market open, out for an hour, and about 3,086,000 shares, were traded for the day. Pretty good showing for the first day. And we also saw where, there was significant buying pressure in the buy side of the queue and relative sellers in the selling on the sell side of the queue as well, which, is a relatively good sign because it means that some persons can look forward to their usual probably 100% or even 60 to 80% gain at IPO, because some persons that's a major win for them. So this is, a good first day for Omni. Looking forward to see their development and plans, as the year progresses, since they are now be tax exempt and they have that $250 million worth of capital to really jumpstart the operations even further to expand.
All right, so we have some comments. Natoya says Omni's off to a great start today, 30% gain in one day. Love to see the positive market move. Adding that Omni buy queue looks good and happy to see the sell queue is not packed. Then we have Christopher saying it will be interesting to see how Omni closes out the week.
Well,
anything to add on that, Clive, on Omni? I don't know if you were paying attention. They had their first trading day today.
Yes, they opened today. This is interesting. Well, inflation is tempered. We have seen since the beginning of the year several companies, including listed entities, raising capital, whether debt capital or equity capital, right? Equity Omni, IPO, NCB IPO. We have seen MJE raising debt capital. MJE investing companies already listed on the stock exchange, and they are raising capital to further. That is a positive sign that they are optimistic on the market and is raising billions of dollars. I think in excess of about $1.6 billion. Over time, they're going to put that in the market. So that is a little bit optimistic. Omni, yes. I think it's positive in the sense that one, interest rate has been stable. That is our monetary policy rate at 7%, has been stable for the last probably year and a half or two. I think after a while, the market and prices are quite low. The market gets used to that. One, even though they are short-term instruments generating good return, they mature quickly. So people at some point in time will have a little excess cash before they can put it into the new short-term instrument. During that time period, they want to time an IPO for that. And I think they timed it appropriately. Right, so the industry that they are in is kind of unusual and new. They manufacture a wide range of products that are very important and critical, especially to the manufacturing and develop real estate sector, I should say. Right, so they have a lot of potential there. It's interesting though. What we have seen over post-COVID is that a few of the IPOs. They perhaps went up about 10, maybe 20%, then fell back down to about 10% above IPO price and has more or less stayed there. It's interesting that this one has hit kind of a little slow. Pre-COVID IPO listing, the rapid increase we had within a couple of minutes of the opening, we didn't see that today. However, before the end of the day, it hit the circuit breaker. Maximum 30% limit. So that is interesting. Let's see what happens tomorrow. If it slows down by tomorrow, or maybe last a third or fourth day, as with previous pre-COVID IPOs. But these are indicative of, I believe, the psychology of the market, the temperament in the market, and perhaps if other factors changes that are in line with market expectation, good market expectation, then who knows, maybe it is time for us to come in and begin to at least incrementally buy our average down. Our cost might be a little high because many of us bought pre-COVID and prices are low now, you can begin to average down your cost.
So Learn, Grow, Invest says, so the IPO market is back?
I would believe so. I believe that there are quite a few companies. Interestingly also, there has been discussion about a new market, one that is smaller than the junior market, that accommodate smaller, maybe cottage type industry businesses. You see, so maybe carries a little bit more risk, but if that comes on the market again, it means that there's a potential for significant capital raise and for more investment opportunities. What I would believe though is that with the higher interest rate, with all the short-term rate, if BOJ should ease out and the government should ease out of putting more papers on the market, then it means that there'll be a lot of cash in the system. It must go somewhere. So would like the stock exchange, and perhaps with the assistance of the government and of course the private sector and entrepreneuring entities, to have securities, that is equity securities, related securities, ready to list on the market to accommodate this. So therefore we can kind of push back inflation. Too much cash in the system, too few goods, we might run back into that inflationary thing. If we have a whole host of investment options for the market, then we can see that money going into investment, which is better on many fronts for the broader economy and of course the investing individual. So hopefully this year we may see more IPOs and more capital raise.
One more thing, Kalila.
David, we're way over time, Make it quick, please.
So two things. One,
this person said one, lawyer said two.
So one of the reasons that they probably might not have seen more shares on the market today was just because of the delay for non-JTrader Pro users. So like a JMMB, Mayberry, NCB Capital Markets, there's a delay for the shares to show up on their platform for some users. So that's probably delayed person's decision to actually sell in the market at that point. And two, we should also not forget that the junior market threshold has been proposed to be adjusted to $750 million. So IPOs will likely be coming a lot more faster, when rates had to come down, alongside that more accommodative market threshold. Well, for some companies, they're going to rate this, Kalila, because the tax break plus the capital is needed if they want to really catch up and grow pretty aggressively when rates had to come down for them. So timing really matters for some companies, rather than the $250 extra.
True. 250. Yeah. I see some people asking about Select, but we're going to have to talk about that next week. So producer, please make a note to ask the analysts about Select funds next week, because there's some news on that front too, news that you broke in the Observer, David. But next time we'll talk about that. Thanks so much, David. Thanks, Clive.